Thank you very much. Want to thank everybody for being here, and I do want to thank some special guests and some folks that are making today possible. I particularly want to thank Marcel Epley, who's the president and CEO of the Long Beach Community Foundation, and the Community Foundation is actually going to be the home of this, and so we're very grateful to them and their work. It's important for us to recognize, I think we all know this, that homelessness is our city's largest challenge. There is no bigger challenge, there is no bigger issue in front of us than ensuring that we are doing everything we can to end street homelessness, to get people the mental health care that they need, to ensure that we're building housing that's accessible and affordable, and that we are connecting people with services. And so we are working on those issues every single day. I want to reiterate that Long Beach in the last 5 years has housed over 5,000 people experiencing homelessness. And we average housing about 1,000 individuals every single year that are experiencing homelessness. Just last year, we launched the Everyone Home Long Beach plan. And this is the Everyone Home Long Beach Task Force plan that was put together by so many in the community. And one of the recommendations in this plan is focused around ensuring and increasing funding for our work on homelessness. And so that is what today is also about. We are addressing the plan every single day in our work, whether it's building affordable units, whether it was the council's actions on tenant relocation assistance, whether it was working with our medical partners to expand the number of beds and mental health care that residents are receiving. So that plan is being looked at every single day, and this program is a part of this plan. High on the list of services that we need are really focused around prevention and ensuring that people have access to services and support, whether it's helping with maybe a rent payment that they weren't able to make because of losing a job, whether it's a utility bill that maybe have been shut off because they didn't have access to funds that month. Those are the types of issues that are really focused around prevention and where the Mayor's Fund to End Homelessness will really focus. We can not only continue to house the 1,000 folks that are experiencing homelessness, but also help to prevent the then hundreds of people that are falling into homelessness every single year in Long Beach and the greater area. So what is the Mayor's Fund to End Homelessness? I think it's important to first note that the fund was actually created in 1990 by then Mayor Ernie Kell. At the time, it was obviously, the challenge was much different, and it has existed since the 1990s throughout all these decades since. But it also has been a fund that has kind of lived within the city, but has not also had much programming or attention paid to it every single year. What we want to ensure is we want to elevate this fund, which, by the way, receives about $25,000 a year in donations. That's typically the average of what the fund receives. We want to elevate this fund and really create a really powerful new tool where folks can donate so that they know that their dollars are going directly to help prevent homelessness and to ensure that people have homes. As an example, just $50 provides 10 hygiene kits for individuals that are engaged with our outreach street teams. $80 provides metro fare for a person that needs to go to and from work. $100 provides 10 meals for individuals engaged in street outreach. And just $500 provides furnishings and startup goods for one household moving into permanent housing. So this is some really incredible work. I want to thank the Community Foundation. One of the ways of uplifting this program is we have moved the Mayor's Fund from being a fund that was at the city to now a tax-deductible fund that will live within the Community Foundation. And they are committing and stepping up to also raising money for this fund. So instead of raising the $25,000 that happens around every year, we're committed to raising significant dollars into this fund every single year. And one of the ways we're doing that, which you're going to hear about in a minute, is we are launching today these Change for Change meters. And these meters are essentially going to be placed, they already are placed, one here in downtown. We have two on 2nd Street and one on 4th Street in Retro Row. And folks will know that If they put their change in these meters, these coins and these dollars are going right back into the mayor's fund for homelessness to help prevent and help people experiencing homelessness. And it's a great way for folks that want to give to be able to come back and give here. I also need this project, though obviously we are launching the fund today, we're relaunching the fund today with a new logo and a new website and the foundation. One piece of the fund is this program, and I do need to do a couple thank yous for this piece of it. I do want to thank, one is Councilmember Al Austin, and former Councilwoman Suja Lowenthal, and now State Senator Lena Gonzalez have all been encouraging to do and promoting this type of work at the council. So I want to thank them for that. I also want to thank Craig Kogin. I'm not sure if he's here or not. The DLBA and I discussed doing a meter program many years ago as well, and we discussed that with the city to try to launch this type of program. And of course, we want to thank the Community Foundation for the partnership. So without those folks, this part of the Mayor's Fund would not be possible. And with that, I want to turn this over briefly to Kelly Colopy, who is going to make some remarks about the new fund. So let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you all for being here. It really is an exciting day for us, and I really want to thank the Long Beach Community Foundation for partnering with us on this effort. We've been working very closely together as we generated this idea, and the ability to really be able to officially be in that space today is really a great thing for all of us. You know, we often get requests from people to say, you know, we found this person and they're homeless and all they need is this, and then if we could just do this, it would make all the difference. But as much as funding as we bring in from different sources, this isn't always funded. So we can't help people with cars right now. Like, what if they have a loved one that would actually take them, but we don't actually have capacity through our other funding to help them go home to their families. So what this Mayor's Fund does, it allows us to do that work. We know that nearly 4,000 people in the city of Long Beach fall into homelessness every year. So a lot of them, you know, our point in time count on the street is about 1,894. But I think but we know that there are far more that every year fall into homelessness, and we know there's another 20,000 or so at risk or precariously housed that could fall into homelessness any day if we're not working with them to prevent it. So our goal is to make sure that people spend very little time, one, not fall into homelessness, and then two, spend very little time homeless if necessary. So we really understand that prevention is the core need, and we're very excited about this opportunity to focus on prevention. It is one of the least funded resources out there at the federal and the state level, so we want to make sure that we're focusing on that. Because the more we can prevent people from becoming homeless and the more that they're on the streets, it's better for everyone. We also are seeking opportunities for what we call early intervention, because if someone becomes homeless, we want them to be homeless for the least amount of time possible. So what we don't want to see is people on our streets. We want to help people before they ever get there. And so this fund can help us with the Homeward Bound program, connecting people to their families, to do move-in supports for new housing and other things like that. But the key goal of this fund is really to fund the gaps. Right? There are gaps in services that we cannot fill in any other way. So for instance, our Section 8, through the Housing Authority, they can pay for the voucher, but what they can't pay for is moving costs. They can't pay for furniture. They can't pay for the things that make a home a home. And so those are the kinds of things, because once a home becomes a home, people are more likely to stay in it. So the more that we can help people, create that space for them through this fund, the more that we'll be able to help people maintain their housing. This could also be utilized to help people with their transportation for their jobs or training, and also think about our children. Children often don't have the right clothes or uniforms or books or supplies or things like that when they're homeless to go to school. And those are the kinds of things that this fund could help in terms of improving education for our children. So what we want is nonprofit organizations to understand that these resources are available. If a nonprofit organization has a really great idea and wants to come and support a different way that we can help people who are homeless, then we want to make sure that they are approaching us, as many of the decisions that are made about this fund go through they're from proposals from nonprofit organizations, and they're approved by our Homeless Services Advisory Committee. So we want to make sure that people are bringing their most creative ideas to us, and so that we can work with them and understand if we can get it funded. So we're very excited about the flexibility this fund brings. We're very excited about the possibility of it. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to turn it back over to the mayor.
Thank you. And just as a follow-up, one of the programs that Kelly talked about, which we really need funding for that the Mayor's Fund will focus on is our Homeward Bound program, and that's a program that there are folks that might be from another part of the country also that are trying to get back home that can't get back home, and so we will help them, provide them transportation, bus fare, ability for them to take care of themselves as they try to get back to their home as well. So there's a lot of great ways, and as we unveil this, I do want to give another big round of applause to Marcel Epley and the Community Foundation. This fund will live there. We've already, I believe, we have about maybe $150,000 or $160,000 that is now in the fund. This is a fund, by the way, that was averaging about $25,000 a year. And today when we launch, we want folks to give at these meters, but we also are going to aggressively go out and fundraise. So this holiday season, you are going to be hearing from us. You're going to be seeing ways of getting involved in your utility bill to give back some of what you can to the fund. You're going to hear me knocking on some doors and making some phone calls to encourage our business community and others to also give to the fund. We get asked all the time, how can I help? This is now a way for the community to directly help and support people in our community that are experiencing homelessness that need support. And so I thank everyone that's involved. I want to thank we have members here that are back here from our advocacy groups, our shelter groups, our Everyone In county group, so many folks that are involved in our efforts, and we couldn't do this without all of your support. So let's give them all a round of applause for their amazing work. And so with that, we're going to unveil our meter, and again, these meters, by the way, we're just launching 4, but our goal is to have more and spread them out across the city as well. So we'll do that.